All right, so Predator came out in 1987. It was directed by John McTiernan. Now, John McTiernan, the very next year, directed one of my all-time favorite action films known as Die Hard. He's a phenomenal director. He also directed Arnold in another film called Last Action Hero. A lot of people didn't care for that film. Me being the Die Hard Arnold fan I am, I love that film. Now,
it's a good movie.
Yeah, now, getting back to this film... This is by far one of my favorite Arnold films. You know, the top Arnold films I can think of for me, obviously the first two Terminator films, Total Recall, True Lies, and this. Those are my favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger films. And, you know, what I love so much about this movie is how realistic it feels in such a crazy environment about an alien, you know, hunting. But I love the concept of an alien hunting down the most dangerous part of man, the like elite combat soldiers. It's just such a cool and neat concept. And what also was so neat, you know, originally when they were going to make this film with Arnold, the original script had, you know, Arnold battling him the whole time by himself. Terrible idea in my opinion, and Arnold is the one who
would have just drawn on way too long if they had done it that way.
That's exactly what I was just thinking. So, you know, Arnold came back to the writers in the studio, 20th Century Fox, and told them, look, I think it'd be more interesting if we had a group of you know, soldiers with me, and he was picking them off one by one, so you felt more of a sense of danger for my character.
Yeah, plus you got to get Carl Weathers in there, man.
Oh, Carl Weathers, it's all in the hips, right?
Right.
Yeah, Happy Gilmore reference for you people who haven't seen it. Shame on you if you haven't seen Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, watch it.
Getting back, we will review that one day. Getting back to this, though, Carl Weathers, just really quick. The whole cast together, I feel they have such great chemistry. They really feel like a group of military
mercenaries.
Mercenaries. They really feel like a group of mercenaries, like as you just said. So, you know, and again, I didn't feel like I'm watching actors trying to pretend to be. I felt like I was watching real mercenaries, you know, in the jungle on like during a rescue mission, and it was the action in this film is incredible. From the first scene, I mean, again, the movie opens up, you know, just establishing, you know, shipping off the Predator onto the ship,
right,
or rather onto Earth, and then we see, you know, Arnold like getting news of the situation. We see his relationship with Carl Weathers, that they're good friends. I love that scene at the beginning where Dylan, you son of a bitch. Yeah, and then where they're just showing,
so 80s.
Yeah, who's the stronger, bigger guy? Love it. I love that.
Carl Weathers looks pretty big, but then then Arnold comes in, you're like, all right.
Yeah,
Arnold,
and a fun fact about that too, they're all ridiculous. Every guy every mercenary in this film is jacked, huge. From Jesse Ventura to Arnold to Carl Weathers, all these guys, Sonny Langham, they're all humongous. What Arnold like kind of made a competition with these guys, so like they'd all have competition, like who could do more stuff in the gym, who could get bigger and buffer. Like Carl Weathers was like saying, oh, Arnold would get into the gym at like 5 a.m. so like he'd make sure he got to the gym at 4 a.m. like just to be more competitive.
Healthy competition.
Yeah. Oh.
And it benefited the movie.
Oh yeah, and again, it felt like that more infused into their chemistry, where like you feel like they're like a group of brothers, and they've been working together for many years. And I love the way they work. And again, we see in the first big action scene of the film where they're just killing a bunch of drug lords. You know, we see how the group works together. You know, you see like Arnold talking to Shane Black, who's going to be directing the new Predator movie. Very cool how Hawkins is going to be directing the new Predator.
Yeah.
Now, he's like talking to Shane Black here. It's like, Hawkins, call in position. Like, you see how the team works, stuff like that. Like, when they're moving through the jungle, being silent. And then, like, there's a scene where Carl Weathers, like, kind of messes up. And then Bill Duke gets on a Mac and he goes, you're ghosting us, mother... You know, and he's like, I don't care who you are in the world, you do that again, you give away our position again, I'll bleed you here real quick. Got that? I love those little moments with the characters. Like, it just infuses into later what's going to happen in the story, and you get that sense of like, dude, these are real soldiers, and they're not messing around. Like, I just love the serious tone and and the chemistry again between all those guys. I didn't feel like I was watching actors, and that's the thing when I'm watching movies. I don't want to feel like I'm watching a movie. I want to feel like I'm experiencing something. And this whole movie, I felt like I was experiencing so much.
Well, yeah, I agree. And I also really love the location of the whole set. Like, the jungle was great. And some of those shots they do with just a slow moving camera that just makes you, like, really feel the atmosphere where they're at. And there's one scene in particular I can think of is once Predator, I forget who he killed already, but he was up in the tree. And then the long shot, they show the people walking away, and then they slowly go up the tree.
That was Hawkins' body.
And you see the blood, and all of a sudden you see him at the top. But some of the scenes in this movie were just shot beautifully.
I completely agree. And as I was thinking too, it's funny. I just watched Man of Steel before I had seen this. So me personally, there's a lot of shaky cam in that, and then watching the camera work in this film, very well done. There's a lot of good long shots, a lot of shots where they pull away from Arnold, then we see Hawkins' body, other shots where we're seeing characters' spines being ripped out of their body. There's some crazy moments in this film, but the camera work, the POV shots of the Predator, what I love that they did about cool. What I love, the game to the POV shots now, what I love that they did about this film, they kind of took the Jaws approach, and what I mean by that is they didn't have a ton of money like you do on a big budget film now, and also the Predator suit wasn't really working. They didn't have the design the way they wanted as they were shooting, so they had to find ways to shoot around that. So what they did is they came up with some cool ways of showing some POV shots and some shots of the Predator's hand in POV, so you get the sense that the Predator is there stalking the mercenaries. And to me, that's even more scarier sometimes than seeing the villain, knowing he's out there and not seeing him.
They don't really show him outright. They just kind of see little parts, and him in the camouflage and all
that. I love that.
And I mean, I thought that was, like you said, it makes it even more menacing because you don't really know exactly what he looks like, and then when you see him at the end, it makes it even better.
Yeah, and as you just said, the effects with the camouflage for 1987, it's still bad. I'm not saying it holds up today with our visual effects, but for 1987,
we're spoiled now. So.
Yeah, exactly. For 1987, with the budget that they had, I still feel it does hold up for an 87 film because, again, I was buying that camouflage and it looked good. It looked like future technology, and again, we didn't get too much into the backstory of Predator. That's more in Predator 2, where we learn a little more of the character in Aliens vs. Predator. But I love all the stuff we did get to see of the Predator. Just all the little looks on him, the way he fights, the way he moves.
And him, healing himself when he got hurt, or when he got shot.
And now we got to mention Stan Winston. He created the Predator suit. Now, also, he did the makeup for the Terminator. He did the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park. He's done so much. He's one of the best special effects, if not the best ever. Now, for this film, he had to come in a little late to the game. He was working on a film called Aliens, great movie, and he actually obviously did the aliens for that film. Now, when he got the call of this, he was on an airplane with a man you might have heard of named James Cameron, who had directed Aliens, and that's where he got the call to do the job for Predator. Now, James Cameron made the suggestion to Stan Winston about he'd never seen mandibles used on a predator, or rather on a monster in a film. So that's where Stan Winston got the idea to use the mandibles, and I gotta say, thank you, James Cameron, for that.
Look,
yeah, it is. But everything else that Stan Winston created on top of the James Cameron suggested mandibles, I love the look of the Predator. Now, I had watched the behind the scenes, Jason. I don't know if you did. I saw what the Predator suit was. Oh, God, it was hideous. It was like this red suit. It looked like a guy in a crab suit. It was awful. The suit that Stan Winston created, and you had Kevin Peter Hall in the suit, and God rest his soul, he actually passed away in 1991, I believe. The way he moves in the Predator suit, I really felt like I was watching an alien, not a man in a Predator suit. I love his movements, the way he moves around the trees, the way he goes after all the characters one-on-one. It's just Kevin Peter Hall did an amazing job without having to say any kind of dialogue. I understood everything that the character was thinking and trying to do what he was trying to accomplish in his missions when he's trying to assassinate these mercenaries one by one, just from the movements, the subtle movements. It's just so much, there's just so much subtle and little things that this movie does a great job of, and it's a very flawless film for me for the most part.
Yeah, and I love too how they kind of explain about the Predator, how he's sort of killing for sport, and they mentioned how he didn't kill the girl because she was unarmed and really wasn't a warrior, so why would he really want to kill her?
Also, I got to mention, too, that's a very good point. I love how Arnold Schwarzenegger starts piecing things together, figuring out, he knows...
Yeah, he figured it out.
Well, Dylan he's under the, he thinks it's two of the guys from the drug lord. He thinks some guys have caught up who worked with the drug lord army, and they're just picking them off one by one. Arnold isn't too sure what is going on, but he's definitely confused by the whole situation. And I love how we see how intellectually smart the character is. He starts piecing, he's using the trees.
Yeah.
Just when he starts piecing it together and yesterday, what did you see? No more games. And then we start getting the answers. He is such a smart character. I love, this is one of my favorite Arnold roles as Dutch. I really, really hope, just really quickly getting off topic, when the new Predator comes out, I'm really hoping, even if it's a cameo, I want Arnold Schwarzenegger back.
It would be nice, and it would help sell tickets for the movie, too.
Well, yeah, I'm going to be there no matter what. But with Arnold, I'm going to be there extra quickly. But, no, I love this character so much, and, I really felt that you know, for someone who's not a match for the Predator, intellectually he was, because he set some crazy traps for him. And I gotta say, Jason, for me personally, I don't know, I mean, I want to hear what your favorite scene is, but my favorite scene in this whole film, by far, I mean, there's a lot of my favorite scenes, but my definitive one is Arnold versus the Predator, the hand-to-hand combat.
Well, yeah, that's one that definitely sticks out in my mind as well. Just like the fact, like you said, Predator sort of respects Arnold for basically, you know,
evading
him and basically staying alive. So he takes off the mask and he fights him hand to hand. That one's definitely a great scene.
Yeah, no, the symbolic moment for me in that scene is, as you just said, when he takes off the mask, it's like that's a sign of respect. You have evaded death and you've injured me in the process. You're by far one of the greatest humans I fought. So now we're gonna duke this out. Again, the Predator doesn't need to say anything, and I know exactly what it's thinking. That's the subtlety and the beauty of this script by Jim and John Thomas. They do such a great job of explaining things without having to go into crazy dialogue scenes and explaining what's going on.
Well, another scene I can think of is right after that when Arnold says, "What the hell are you?" And then Predator sort of replays it. He says, "What the hell are you?" And he sets the bomb off, and then he starts laughing. That scene was amazing, I thought.
And then the bomb starts going
off. And
off.
Arnold's like, "Oh shit, I gotta get the hell out of there."
Yeah, no.
He's gotta get to the chopper.
Yeah, get to the chopper! No, definitely, I agree, no. That scene for me...
But that was like, I feel like, you know, Arnold said, "What the hell are you?" And Predator's like, "Wow, you defeated me. What? You defeated me. What the hell are you?"
But he's mimicking.
He is mimicking, but he said that particular line back to him, because he's like...
Also, too,
he's been defeated by him.
Yeah, no, you're right, but also the mimicking to the laugh, that's because Billy earlier, when Shane Black's character Hawkins had told him a vagina joke about the echoing, and then, you know, Billy's like, and then the Predator observes. Again, I love how he observed. It feels like kind of like the Terminator, not, you know, obviously more Terminator 2, even though this film was before, where, you know, Terminator observes and learns, you know, how to become more human. So I love that aspect of the Predator. Really a cool notion in there. The reason also, too, Jason, I love the hand-to-hand fight between Arnold and the Predator. When you watch most of Arnold films, which Arnold is my favorite actor. I'm not saying he's the best actor. Do not twist my words. He's my favorite actor of all time, not the best. He's the most entertaining actor to me. He's got the best one-liners of all time, especially this film.
Definitely true.
Yeah, from this film, from "Stick Around" to "Get to the Chopper" and just so on. You know, and "You're one ugly motherfucker." He's my favorite actor of all time. Now, the reason I love this is you watch a film like Commando, you watch any other Arnold Schwarzenegger film, he rather kills and defeats the bad guys. I'm not going to go easily, but rather effortlessly most of the time, especially in a movie like Commando, one of the coolest action scenes ever. But you watch a movie like this in the hand-to-hand combat, he gets the crap beaten out of him badly. Like, he is running and crawling away. I've never really seen Arnold in a movie where Arnold's not a Terminator. I've never seen Arnold crawling and walking away like when he's crawling and walking away from the T-1000 that he's a Terminator. I'm talking about when he's a human. I've never felt so much danger for Arnold as a human. Like, him versus the Predator one-on-one, I felt so much more danger than in Commando when 200 soldiers are trying to shoot at him. Like, think about that for a second. That's why I thought that it's so brilliant how they had that scene. And I love seeing how vulnerable Arnold's character was and the way he had to beat him with a trap, because there's no way I would have bought Arnold beating him physically in that fight.
Well, yeah, and Predator even figures out his trap, but then Arnold kind of gets around it.
Yeah,
anyway.
he kind of hits the tree stick, and then the branch comes down. I love how he had a contingency plan that he came up with on the spot. Again, shows you how intelligent that Dutch is in this movie, and I love intelligent characters, especially when it's played by my favorite actor.
Yeah, it just makes the movie so much more believable and entertaining to see these characters figure out things like that rather than just be dumb, and you're like, what are you doing that for? You know, that kind of thing. So I agree with you.
No, you just made a great point. When you see moments in films and you're not questioning, you're going, I understand why that character did that. The motivation in that for what the character did makes total sense. I might have done that myself right there. That's those kind of films are usually the films where that click with me the most, where I feel like this isn't a movie. This is stuff like that relates and makes total sense. And again, as I said, in a film about an alien, it felt so real, and again, the jungle felt so real. The characters felt so real. The Predator even with the crazy technology and all the stuff he had and the way he was healing himself, it felt so real. And I just love how this is like a war action movie infused with so much horror element
and suspense.
Yeah. I thought the direction was good. The stakes were really raised. The characters were amazing and interesting, especially the scenes between Arnold and Carl Weathers. The scenes where Arnold is at his best is when he's acting with Carl Weathers. That's where Carl just elevates Arnold as an actor. Like, he just forces him to be extra good in those scenes, even though Arnold is amazing in every scene in this film. But overall, As you can tell, I hate this movie and I can't stand it. Obviously, I'm in love with this movie. It's one of my favorite movies ever. Call me crazy. It's all subjective. I'm giving this movie a 9.8 out of 10.
All right, well, I definitely love this movie a lot. Maybe not quite as much as you. I don't maybe have some of the nostalgia, but I think it is a very, very well done movie, especially for the time that it was made. And I don't think it's even held back by any limitations other than maybe the fact that you could say the Predator, like, the camouflage looks a little outdated, but other than that,
I disagree.
Other than that, I think everything about this movie is great. I'm gonna have to give it an 8.5. Alright guys, well that's gonna do it for this video. Tell us what you thought about this movie in the comments section below, and if you like this video, you can hit the subscribe button.
See you guys next time.